Hey, I'm Harry Mays, and I'm pretty ticked off that I'm not going to get to see Shedeur Sanders play against the Eagles this weekend. Ooh. That's the only thing to look forward to in the stinking preseason.
I'm Jason Martinez, and I love winning joint practices.
Oh, spicy meatballs from all of you. I'm Marc Farzetta, and I absolutely love the idea that Jalen Hurts is willing to learn from anybody. All that and more coming up in this edition of Locked On Eagles Squad Show.
Fly, Eagles, fly. It's the Eagles Squad, sponsored by Gametime. Everything Philadelphia Eagles every week, covering all the big hits and game-changing plays from the city of brotherly love, the way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. Get ready and squad up. It's the Eagles Squad Show starting now.
And welcome into Locked On Eagles Squad Show. That's how you do an open, gentlemen. Let's start it off with this. I don't expect Jalen Hurts to be talking about quarterback coaches as if he's really going to learn anything from them, but when he did, it raised my eyebrows. I don't know if you guys saw this, but we're going to get into this conversation. We're going to get into Shedeur Sanders, who I watched that game, Harry, and I watched that game, the first preseason game, Shedeur Sanders, with a bunch of Cleveland Browns fans, because I also refer to them as my in-laws, so I'll talk about that. And Jason, I think you got a bone to pick. I think you might have a beef with the beat reporters, winning open practices, all that stuff, man, all that stuff.
I really do.
Yeah, you got a
huge
beef.
bone because they disagree. We have dissension. As they said in The Sopranos, dysentery amongst the ranks.
His apartment looked like crap. No, all right, anyway. All right, when it comes to this...
decorator.
You knew where I was going. Exactly. Yep. When it comes to this Eagles team, look, since we last spoke, we did our post-cast after, or the squad show after the Eagles won their preseason game convincingly with Tanner McKee slinging it. Since then, Landon Dickerson went down during the actual open practice at Lincoln Financial Field. It turns out we got the best news possible other than, oh, he's fine. He just slipped. It still looks like he's going to be ready to go week one. That's what everybody's hoping for. Brett Toth is getting those reps right now. We'll talk about the left guard position. We'll also talk about the alleged, and I'm going to say this, alleged cornerback battle, when in reality, it kind of feels like a Mexican, or it feels like a Canadian standoff. You go, no, you go, no, you go, no, you go, that kind of thing, where nobody really wants to take the bull by the horns. And also Drew Makuba getting the first team reps at the safety position. But I want to start with this, gentlemen. Jalen Hurts, you guys know, I am. I admit I'm a super fan of Jalen Hurts.
You really are.
Whatever he's selling, whatever I own it, but I don't think it's disillusion. I think it's legitimate. I'm buying what he's selling.
A couple of cases of Sprite just got dropped off right at the Farzetta residence. He's now Mr. Sprite.
There we go. It's my favorite. Farzetta drinks Sprite?
Yes.
Those are great Grand Hill commercials. But anyway, I buy what Jalen Hurts is selling. I have told people many times I am not going to waste the opportunity we have right now with the quarterback that we've waited a long time for in Philadelphia, that he's actually here. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won a Super Bowl. This is a great time to be alive as a Philadelphia Eagles fan. With all his accomplishments, though, and what he's done already, I would figure you just bring in anybody at the at the quarterback coach spot, and he'll listen to him, he'll placate maybe. But this guy really seems like he wants to learn. Jalen Hurts really seems like he wants to learn from Scot Loeffler. And I understand that Loeffler has been with Bowling Green as a head coach. He's been under Steve Adazio. No big deal there, Harry Mays.
Yeah.
He's only won a bowl game with Steve Adazio and the Temple Owls. The New Mexico
Bowl. That's the bowl.
Damn right.
Yeah.
He was the offensive coordinator.
They beat Wyoming that day, I believe.
Yeah. I believe they did. They did. I think they whooped them, as a matter of fact. Did you miss that game? Jason, did you miss that game? It was prime time television.
Yeah.
I believe it was carried by every major network across the country.
My lips.
I held a watch party for that game. I did.
If I've ever heard
at some bar down near in Center City somewhere. It was a good time.
I don't doubt that.
Bishop's collar hair.
Here are the words that Jalen Hurts used to describe his new quarterback's coach, okay? Wise, experienced, changed Hurts' approach, setting his eyes, where Jalen Hurts sets his eyes. Also, offering Jalen Hurts a new perspective. Now, I'll mention this. If you guys are cozying up there, Jason, to Jalen Hurts, and you've just been hired as his new quarterback coach, what's your elevator pitch as to why Jalen Hurts should listen to you?
I can help you change your eyes.
I'll help you change your eyes. Harry, there you go. That's a good one. Harry, do you have an elevator pitch for Jalen Hurts?
Yes, I've got Peyton Manning's cell phone number. And you can call him whenever you want.
And he'll answer.
That's great. There you go. Exactly.
Win a win a Super Bowl and MVP. He'll answer.
Yeah.
Scot Loeffler. Apparently, his elevator pitch to Jalen Hurts was, "I am excited for my opportunity to enhance your game."
Wow.
That's not bad.
That's
not
pretty
bad,
good,
right? I got it.
Yeah,
pretty
good.
That's pretty good.
Shut on the elevator that quick, but geez.
Yeah.
You have a little more.
It's not bad though.
Yeah.
It's not bad. And here's what I like about it. When I heard this question, and you know how it is, you listen to a press conference, you listen to a question and go, yeah, all right, that's you almost, if you're watching it later, you want to fast forward through, like, you're not going to get anything about this. But he's not going to say anything bad. But he paused, and gentlemen, he spoke for 90 seconds on a position that, like, I overlook all the time, especially when you're already worried about your offensive coordinator, or maybe not even worried, but just, all right, you haven't seen this guy be an offensive coordinator at the NFL level. He's never called plays at the NFL level. What do you really have going on here? That's the bigger story than a quarterback coach, which is all the more reason why I would expect Jalen Hurts to kind of brush by it. But here's Jalen Hurts, still a sponge, Harry, when it comes to the new QB coach on the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good thing. Hurts is he's gonna say that about anybody and everybody, good things on this team, and as he should. And if you're Scot Loeffler, you're looking at, I could maybe do one or two little things with this guy because he's not a finished product yet. I mean, I think even you, Mr. Fanboy, would have to agree with that,
yes,
that he can get better in certain areas. And if Loeffler can tap into that and actually improve upon what he's already doing very well, that's a ticket to being an offensive coordinator somewhere, and you know what I mean? Coach. So I don't think we love Stoutland because he's content with being an offensive line coach, okay? I doubt Scot Loeffler wants to be a quarterback's coach the rest of his life. Okay, so if he can do a couple of things, and people are raving, you get Chris Collinsworth on a Sunday night football game saying, Jalen Hurts never used to be able to do that. Scott starts, pumping him up. All of a sudden, he's the offensive coordinator for the Houston Texans next year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Let's do the full, because we could do this because at least I'm on a wheelie chair. Let's do the full Chris Collinsworth. Well, here we go. This is what he did. He wasn't doing it last year, Al. There we go.
That's very good.
For the people on the podcast, I just did a spot-on slide in. Collinsworth slide in, if you will.
Yeah,
but,
he does slide. You're right.
You know what it is?
Tap,
I'm
slide,
told,
tap,
slide. I'm told that it's not even a slide. It's just a pivot.
Oh,
so
okay.
So
right.
I'm told my sources
looks like a slide on camera.
It does.
It does. My sources. That's what they tell me. It's a slide. Or excuse me. It's a spin more than a slide or anything.
Well, here's the deal. I learned all I need to know about the relationship of a quarterback and a quarterback coach way back in the year of our Lord 1999. When the Eagles hired a quarterback's coach from the Green Bay Packers in the Mike Holmgren tree, and Brett Favre couldn't talk more praising,
glowingly,
yes. Andrew Reid, and we're all going, who the
heck is this
Reid?
Fat redhead?
Yeah, like a cheeseburger.
Yeah, exactly.
I asked about cheesesteaks in his first. What? Yeah, and the Denny's menu. And Brett Favre loved them. Now, the individual position coach a lot of times is the psychiatrist, the shrink, the advocate for the position of the player.
Yeah, he's the good cop in most cases.
Yep, exactly. And sometimes the good cop has to go to the coordinator or the coach to get the message across from the quarterback. It's a position that garners a ton of trust. It's Harry, you're going to kill me, but it's like a goalie coach in high. What was a goalie coach do?
Oh, boy.
He is the advocate for the goaltender.
He packs the pads into the duffel bag every night,
No,
right?
I can assure you a goalie coach does not do that. It does not stuff the big goalie bag, but he is an advocate, and the positions are very similar in their consequence. So there is a very strong relationship that needs to happen there of being able to trust a guy. And when Loeffler comes to Hurts and says, look, I can do – there's some things that I see in your game that I think you can still be better at. When you're saying that to a guy that's as motivated as him, that's something he doesn't mind hearing.
No.
Because he's confident. Lesser guys, if you'd have said that to Carson Wentz in year 3, it would have been an issue.
Or McNabb.
Or McNabb, yeah, because they were passive-aggressive and insecure.
Yes.
I get the sense, and this is just a sense because we get what he gives, and that's from Jalen Hurts, that he does not suffer from insecurity. So a guy like Loeffler can say those things to him, and that piques the interest of a guy like Jalen Hurts. And it's why he calls Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Because Peyton Manning's not going to sit there and kiss his ass. He's going to tell him.
He's got commercials to do. Are you kidding me?
You see this in a defense, you slide this way. Don't do that. Do this. You can, you got the option is you'll have a better option down the field than an under route or something like that. That's a guy that's secure. And I think that position is really important, although we downplay it. But it's important to the mentality and the confidence of a quarterback.
Yeah, and you brought up Peyton Manning. When Manning says the word cerebral to describe Jalen Hurts, that means something to me because I always viewed Manning as one of the more cerebral quarterbacks I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of quarterbacks.
Right? He's probably the most cerebral, the way he would call plays at the line.
Right. So that was a glowing praise to me. That got my attention.
Yeah, it's on the heels of two things. One, the Peyton Manning, as you guys are talking about, where Jalen Hurts calls him about these real specific nuances of plays that are similar to what Peyton Manning ran with Tom Moore. And then Tom Moore has got little trickles of his offense and what Nick Sirianni does. And Sirianni, obviously, and Kevin Patullo have that history together. Now Patullo's running those same things. And Jalen Hurts wants to call the man that was running it originally in Peyton Manning. So I love those little nuances and all that of course, you can learn from a 2-time Super Bowl champion, multi-MVP and Peyton Manning and all that. That's great. Yeah. But the other thing is, Jason, you go back to Andy Reid and you talk about the quarterback position and how Andy Reid got elevated from that spot, from like tight ends coach to QB to now being in Philadelphia as the head coach. You mentioned Carson Wentz. That's exactly where my mind went because apparently when everything started really hitting the fan with Carson Wentz, it wasn't just Nick Foles that won a Super Bowl without Carson Wentz playing, obviously. It was John DeFilippo, the quarterback's coach, then leaving. And all the reports were that John DeFilippo was the guy that really knew how to grab the reins of Carson Wentz and make sure he knew how to coach him hard enough to the point where he would listen but also be motivated. This is an important position, no matter how good your quarterback has been. And yes, Harry, to your point, I absolutely agree. There are things Jalen Hurts can get better at, and I think he'll need to as his career goes on. And maybe you don't have Saquon for your entire career. Maybe you don't have these receivers at your disposal all the time. Maybe Howie Roseman has a bad draft or two down the line. You're going to need to win just on you. What everyone holds against Jalen Hurts is that he is, no one can deny it, in the perfect place if you're a quarterback. Now, where I praise him is that he's not doing less with it. He's doing exactly what he should do with it. But in a quarterback coach, you got to get more out of the player. I love that Jalen Hurts is receptive to it because when you go back to the Carson Wentz era, everything started hitting the fan when he started getting new quarterback coaches, and he didn't want to listen to a damn one of them. And even Darren Sproles and there was one Golden Tate, if you remember him.
Man.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was talking about
that's a poll.
Yeah, I know, right? These guys are talking about how Carson Wentz didn't want to do any of that quote Foles crap. So that's not coachable.
He was insecure. That's why he didn't want to do the Foles crap. He was insecure.
I love the John DeFilippo reference. Do you know where John DeFilippo is today?
Last I saw Minnesota, but I know he's not there anymore. Where's he at?
He last coached in the UFL for the Memphis Showboats in 2024.
Wow. What a fall from grace.
Wow is right.
Good Lord.
Yes.
Good Lord.
Yeah, the Minnesota Vikings, that was 2018. I mean, was
that with Brad Childress?
Maybe. Oh, the boat captain. Oh,
Yeah.
I love the boat captain.
Yeah.
That was with. I think he and Bradford might have overlapped.
Maybe.
If I'm not mistaken.
They've been sleeved.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez,
To
but
your point,
anyway.
Mark, though, anybody that has any sort of in to correspond with my quarterback of a franchise is an important person. You don't get in that room. You don't correspond with that guy unless you got something to offer.
Mhm.
Like I shield that guy from the dopes, the nitwits,
Right.
and the idiots. You
He's
know what I
off
mean?
limits.
Yeah, like, no asking for him.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
the dopes.
Right.
So no, I don't want his mind being infiltrated with bad information of things he can improve on. I want it just from guys that know what they're looking at.
Yeah.
You know, if he's got the phone number of somebody that he's checking on, that I'm good with him going with Peyton Manning. I'm not good with him calling Ryan Leaf. You know what I mean?
But
To go to
don't
the
you
same
find it
draft.
kind of interesting that it's Manning? Because, Brady's got how many Super Bowls? And he could
Yeah.
probably take a call too, but you chose Manning. Now, why do you think that was?
Brady's got ownership of a team, though, too.
Oh, that's true. He's with the Raiders. He
Ooh,
does.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Conflict.
Yeah.
Well, I know he would go to the Peyton Manning, the Manning passing camp, so they have a
Oh.
history together.
Okay.
So that
two
might be
Southern
why.
guys.
Maybe. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Tom Brady's a little, busy trying to
Maybe.
climb that giant statue of himself in New England now.
And I think with Manning too, like he just seems like, for probably an NFL quarterback, he's very approachable and would love to do that stuff. And Manning's a guy that can, I think, really explain why he did what he did. I think so can Brady, but I think Manning's just one of those guys that just would jump all in at helping him out.
Yeah.
It seems like the way he is.
Yeah, he's not
So-
gallivanting around Europe either. Probably not.
Yeah.
Doing that.
No, I mean he's becoming a massive entertainer.
Oh, he is. Yeah,
And
he absolutely
Eli,
is.
who I thought had the personality of a
Oh, he's funny as
napkin,
hell.
is funny as hell.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
But he's not calling Eli.
Oh, the PGA thing that Eli did is fantastic.
It was.
Awesome. And then the fake quarterback thing he did at Penn State years ago. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. With
It's the walk-on thing.
yeah,
It's
it was
hilarious.
terrific. Yeah.
I will say, gentlemen, I do have a criticism of Jalen Hurts.
No.
I have a criticism.
Wait a second.
hold on.
Mark the tape.
Racket.
1736. He's a liar. The man's a liar.
What did he lie about?
Bold-faced liar. I was told that you got to move on from the Super Bowl, and now he's using the Super Bowl to stay
Convenient.
more confident? That ain't allowed. Oh, no. That Super Bowl is supposed to have no effect on you for the rest of your career until it's over. And now he's asked about, does the Super Bowl make you more confident? He's like, yeah, it makes me more confident. You ever get a promotion? It made you more confident, right? Well, when you do that, you win a Super Bowl. And of course, what better confidence to breed than I've done it before? And I'm like, Jalen, how dare
Thank you.
you were supposed to talk about that
Maybe
Super
the
Bowl.
ring's not in the sock drawer.
Yeah. Wow.
By the way,
There you go.
looking at
Harsh
that ring
criticism.
as compared to the 2017 season ring,
Yeah,
the 2017 season ring looks like the stepchild of the new ring.
it does. I've
Did you
noticed that
see the
too.
picture
yeah.
Tyron Hatcher posted?
I did.
No, I did not.
She posted a picture
Ridiculous.
with each ring
Oh,
side
yeah?
by side, one on each finger. The new one's like this.
Right.
The old one's like this.
Well, that's the thing now. The next team, let's say the Eagles win it again this year, they're going to have to outdo that other ring.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Are
like
they
a
gonna have
kettlebell.
A
Yeah,
necklace?
It's going to
Yeah,
be the size of a
exactly.
laptop computer before you know it.
You know what? When Jalen Hurts wins his 10th Super Bowl, it'll just be a blazer all in diamonds.
Yeah,
There you go.
I like
And then
that.
you push a cufflink, you push a button, and then wings sprout out from the back.
It's the jacket.
Oh, jeez.
Took this off of Rocco DeMeo.
Oh, now, Wayne Smith on the chat says that Hurts has also spoken to Brady, but just not recently. Huh.
That does sound so. I know he's communicated with him, but
Where's
No,
the
I'm thinking
source
of the
of that
after the-
information, Wayne?
Well,
I
I
don't
feel
know.
like Jalen
I hadn't
talks
heard
to-
that.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
that does ring a bell. But it's not. I don't think it's his go-to guy.
Yeah, did
I
you
remember
talk to
after
him
the NFC
before a
champ-
game that he did? I mean, that makes sense, right?
Maybe.
On the field, they talk during
Maybe.
meetings during the week. Maybe that's it. But
Well, that's Brady trying to get information for the broadcast more than the other way around, if that's
Yeah.
the case. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well, maybe
I
he
know he
has.
confides more in Manning, in Peyton Manning. I know he confides more in him. Look, this guy hangs out with Michael Jordan in Greece, so I'm sure Tom Brady's in the in the cell phone. I'm sure that number's there as well.
Right.
Yeah, look, he's got like a subsection in his telephone. It says winners, and when you got guys like that in your winners category, you just type in winners and like 6 names come up. You got Manning.
I've got a big category of losers in my phone.
I do too. I have a losers category here and has-beens.
Has-beens and never wases.
Yeah.
Never wases.
Yeah.
Frauds.
Speaking of never wases, this cornerback battle. Can you even call it that?
Battle in quotes, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was typing out a description earlier, and I was like, "The battle rages on." I'm like, "Raging?
Yeah,
that's
I don't
way
know
too
about
strong."
raging.
And then I was like, "Is it even a battle, or is it just like I said,
a pillow
Canadian
fight? It's more of a pillow fight than a battle.
You take it. You
stab you with a feather.
Right.
We'll talk about that and more when we return. This is Locked On Eagles Squad Show on the Locked On Eagles YouTube channel. Back after this. Now I'm going to tell you about Yahoo Fantasy. How great is this? Yahoo Fantasy. This episode, by the way, brought to you by Yahoo Fantasy. The best time of year. NFL kickoff almost here. That means football, fantasy football season, that is back in full swing. And this year, Yahoo Fantasy is turning things up with fantasy football experience like never before. This year, what I'm doing is I'm playing Yahoo Fantasy Football for the 15th year in a row, and you should too. Whether you're a first-timer or a veteran like myself, Yahoo Fantasy is where it's at. I've used Yahoo Fantasy for years. One of my favorite features, by the way, is the brand new Guillotine Leagues. They just dropped every week. The lowest scoring team eliminated. They get the guillotine. And they, unfortunately, last one in the standings, they get that guillotine. Whether you're all in on something new or like sticking to the head-to-head leagues or jumping into public leagues, Yahoo's got you covered. And to celebrate this, how about this? 28 years of fantasy football greatness. Yahoo Fantasy is dropping 28 big new features over 28 days throughout the month of August to get you ready for the 2025 NFL season. To kick it off, they just dropped the Yahoo Fantasy Guillotine Leagues, killer new way to play fantasy football on Yahoo, where the lowest scoring team eliminated each week until there's one team left standing. And with the new season around the corner, now there's time to get your league together and give new mode a try. Give a new mode a try. If you're more into classics, you can still play head-to-head private leagues or join public leagues as well. Stay tuned for more killer announcements and start playing Yahoo Fantasy Football now at yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. That's yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. Is anyone going to be a starting corner, outside corner, other than Quinyon Mitchell, who's just going to travel and cover the best receiver available? And then Cooper DeJean, I guess, gets what's next in base. But, Jason, when it comes to Adoree Jackson, when it comes to Keely Ringo, it really feels like nobody wants this smoke, even to the point where Jacore Bennett, went from Vic Fangio talking about him in a sense of, well, he can compete, I guess. I mean, it's training camp. To, yeah, he's going to get number 1 reps now. Now 3 guys are splitting number 1 reps with the Philadelphia Eagles. Jason, will somebody please step up, and who would you say it's going to be?
Yeah, Slim Shady sung about this. Will the quarterback please stand up? Who is it going to be? And look, the good news is they still have a lot of camp left, 2 games for somebody to kind of take that role. But I have this feeling that this just is not going to be one of those solidified things all year. It's not going to be a set it and forget it. Because the guy's going to get in there, he's going to make some plays, he's going to earn the job, and then he's going to fritter it away, and they're going to try something else. It's going to be the weakest link of the defense, and we're just going to have to deal with it. And Vic Fangio is going to have to scheme around it at times. Not every position can be, when you're putting that many guys on the field, is going to be a set it and forget it for the season. And that's going to be the Eagles one where it's not going to be that situation. And they're going to have to just make the right decisions at the right times, have the right personnel on the field, and have the right calls to mitigate the damage that can be done by not having that position be as solidified as you'd like it to be. or maybe Howie goes out and makes some kind of trade and does solidify it. We'll see.
He already did.
Yeah, well, he tried.
Yeah.
And we'll see how solid that is. We haven't even seen Jacore in a game yet.
Right.
So we'll see. I mean,
yeah.
I guess they played a game yesterday against the Cleveland Browns in practice, but and they'll have another one of those coming up, but we'll see. So I got to see, that's just one I think that we're going to be monitoring all season.
Yeah, I know the fan base wants an all-pro at every position and everything to be, tied up with a bow and all great. It's not that way for any team in the NFL. There's 31 other teams with a defensive coordinator that is upset with their cornerback position. I guarantee it, okay? Yeah. And it's just the way it is. Now, we're very fortunate here to have, Mitchell and DeJean on this squad. So they're ahead of the game. Trust me. I know everybody, was hand-wringing on August the 14th about the other cornerback position. You put DeJean outside. That'll solve it. He can play there.
Yeah,
and then you work it out with the nickel position, with any one of these guys, whoever stands up. I don't know. I just keep reading that Keely Ringo stinks, and the other guys are not much better. That's pretty much the way I read it.
Yeah.
How he, will do something if he has to do it. But I think Fangio, with the way he likes DeJean, will probably end up putting him out there if he has to.
Deploying the Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. And it'll probably be great.
You're absolutely right. And look, maybe Justin Simmons gets signed, and all of a sudden Drew McCuba's your nickel corner, something like that.
Hey, Luigi did a show on that the other day.
Oh, did he?
Yes, he did. Go check it out on the Locked On page, Locked On Birds page. It's right there.
Louie.
Yes.
You said
I think he quoted you on there.
Is that right?
Yes.
Locked On Luigi?
There we go. There we go. Locked On Luigi.
Hey, Louis does a great job, man.
He does. He may want to upgrade his content if he's quoting me.
There you go. Well, here's what you got. You might see it. If you make an acquisition at the safety position, that would make Drew McCuba, who, by the way, Vic Fangio has already talked about as potentially playing the nickel corner spot. The kind of trick is to playing, though, you got to be healthy to play, and he hasn't been that. He's starting to get that, but hasn't been as of late, or throughout camp. But the other thing I find really interesting here that is a big red flag to me is that Howie Roseman made the trade, and he didn't give up nothing. I mean, Thomas Booker is, I think, a good defensive tackle. He is an NFL caliber.
He's a rotational tackle.
He's a rotational tackle. Exactly. Yeah. And you gave up somebody that on your defensive line, you're still looking who else you could trust. And one of those people you're still trying to look at is Ty Robinson and say, all right, well, is he good enough? But we feel like he's good enough to the point where he can at least get rid of or move on from Thomas Booker. Now, when Vic Fangio was asked about getting Jacore Bennett, and he was asked about whether or not he's got the ability to compete, the potential to compete, I would expect Vic Fangio to say, well, it's training camp. That's what everybody does is compete. Everyone's competing for starting jobs. I would expect somebody as blunt and honest and right between the eyes with no sugar on it as Vic Fangio to just come out and say, yeah, it's training camp. Nobody's got a guaranteed job. Everyone's competing for jobs. This, that, everything like that. But he was like, I guess he can compete. It was, if you're Jacore Bennett, it's like, all right, I guess special teams for me. What the hell, man?
Yeah.
But then after Vic Fangio says that, they have the open practice at Lincoln Financial Field. Jacore Bennett starts getting first team reps in that practice, bumps back down to second team in the next one. Now he's back getting mixed in with Adoree Jackson and Keely Ringo. Now I'm concerned where the guy that you got is a 4th round pick that you traded for, granted a position where you should be pretty solid still this year, but you traded for this guy and immediately he's one of 3 getting first team reps here. This makes me feel terrible about Keely Ringo, even though he was the guy getting the toughest assignment in Jamar Chase in game 1 of the preseason. And unfortunately, it makes Adoree Jackson, with Ringo now playing so good, it makes Adoree Jackson all of a sudden look like, in my book, the leader in the clubhouse.
Tallest midget in the circus is what it is.
Is the way to, absolutely. That certainly applies in this case here.
Yeah.
So I know you can't have all pros at every spot. And yes, I agree, Harry. The cornerback position, whether it's nickel or outside, you feel pretty damn good, especially when you not only have a number 1 corner in Quintanamo Bay, Quinyon Mitchell,
the shutdown corner.
You have a guy following the number 1 target around.
Right.
So that means that you're always, whoever that second outside corner is out on the nickel packages, he's going to be on, obviously, he's never going to be on the number one guy.
Yeah.
But you'd still like that position to be somewhat solidified and not this much of a question between three guys that seem like they don't really want it to this point.
Well, I think Vic Fangio is doing some public messaging too.
Mm-hmm.
I think he does that in a very matter-of-fact way where it doesn't look like he's doing that, but that's what he's doing. Mm-hmm. And I think they're keeping all three of these guys in the mix. I think they know that it's going to be some sort of rotation and knowing when to deploy which one at what time. You know, Jeremy messages in on the show and says, I don't like weakening two positions by moving DeJean outside. And what we don't know, though, and I agree, like sometimes you go, all right, now I'm taking this guy out of his best position, moving him out there. So you are weakening two. But what we don't know is if you do move Cooper DeJean out there, is the sum of the parts with him out there better than it would have been?
Right.
Based on what you had, that we don't know that right now. There's a lot of information to be gathered throughout this season. So we'll see where it goes. But yeah, I think Fangio uses that as a little bit of messaging too, and keeping all these guys in the mix and kind of using the competition element. There's a lot of positions on this team where there is no competition. Right. We know the starting quarterback. We know the starting right. We know the offensive line is for the most part, assuming Steen is going to take that right guard position. You know, all of these things we know.
2 or 3. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 2 of the 3 are special teams, you know. So, like, it's a pretty determinative lineup at this point to have a question mark. And you're right, Harry. There's a lot of hand-wringing going on about it.
No. I see hand-wringing going on about the backup left guard who's not even going to be playing week 1.
Yeah.
You know, like, seriously? We're getting all agitated about Brett Toth or Darian Kennard, for God's sake?
That's because
I feel good. Something. I mean, Jeff Stoutland's met these guys, so they're now all pros. That's the way that works.
Right.
That's that he just little Stoutland blessing,
right?
And they're good.
They're a couple hours
Stoutland on it.
A couple hours on the practice field with Stoutland is similar to sharing the elevator with Sean McVay. Like this dust comes off of him. You know what I mean? And it's just you become all of a sudden you become a stud.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
simple, easy, action packed. You just learned that quickly. I love it. All right, I know both of you guys got some beefs. Jason, I know you got one on these joint practices, actually winning joint practices. I got one in joint practices in general. It's not the same as yours. Harry, I know we're all disappointed. The show that I'm pretty sure it goes Taylor Swift, Shedeur Sanders. Those are the people. That's who people want to talk about. All right. That's who people want to talk about. Those 2 people.
Right.
We're going to talk about those when we return. This is Locked On Eagles Squad Show on the Locked On Eagles YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back right after this.
All right, let me tell you about Monarch Money. You got to get your finances in order. Now, most people can't even name all their financial accounts. They don't even know where they're sending their hard-earned money to, what they're worth, what the balance is, whether it's 401ks, properties, investments. And when you don't have the full picture and available to pull up right in front of you, you can end up leaving a lot of money on the table, and that's not a good thing. We work hard for our money, so we don't want to just kind of throw it away. That's why there's Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one, inclusive, personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life picture right together on one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Now, Monarch, they're going to do the heavy lifting for you. That's the good news. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see the clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. I am not a math guy. They said there'd be no math. Monarch Money makes it easy. I've linked all my accounts together using Monarch and immediately spotted multiple subscriptions to Netflix. I had 2. I had 2 to Hulu. Didn't know. So I'm going, why am I paying for this twice? I wasn't even using one of them, obviously. Now, canceling those alone saves you money every month, and you'll find all kinds of things you're paying for. You can't even believe it. So Monarch will make it simple to review your finances with you and your partner, and you can both see your budgets, goals, and spending activity all in one place. Don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. And this is an opportunity because you're going to save money. Do yourself a favor, use the code LOCKEDONNFL at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com. And make sure you use that code LOCKEDON NFL.
I got to tell you, both of you guys are just terrific at these live reads. No, I mean that. I'm serious. He sold me. Yahoo Fantasy Sports and Monarch Money.
That is not just that's not in the copy. I've been doing Yahoo Fantasy 15 years, man.
I know.
15 years.
Yeah, me and the old lady are getting the finances in order around here.
Oh, yeah?
I got a kid in college. I got another one in private. Money goes out the window real fast around here, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
I remember him.
To look forward to, Farzy.
I remember him crawling around the floor back in our radio days, my friend.
Yeah, back at WIP in my office.
Yeah. Oh, my God. That's crazy. When it comes to your beefs, gentlemen, I'm just going to say this. I don't ever believe you can get more out of a joint practice than you can a game. That I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear that practice is more important than an actual game. To me, that'll never make sense. I understand what they're trying to say. To me, I just think it's stupid. But Jason, please take this away. Your point goes even a step further because I know you can win a game. There's a score there and I can see it. But apparently there's another way to determine who a winner is.
Yeah, and I'd love to get the formula. Well, first of all, you're right. You can't ever simulate a game because of the urgency and just the vibe of a game. You can put real refs on the field for a controlled scrimmage or a practice or whatever it is, or joint practice, but it does not equal game, even preseason game. Mm-hmm. That being said, the beat reporters, and look, I get they have to figure stuff out and they have to have storylines and they have to figure out who won. And I love nothing more than when they disagree about the result, because it's not there in black and white on a scoreboard.
It's subjective.
Yeah, it doesn't say 28-24.
Right.
They got to figure it out themselves. So I insert into evidence Exhibit 1A of Elliott Shore-Parks, who said the Eagles win, but barely.
Oh,
similar to their win over the Panthers last year. It's a win, but they didn't play their best, but won because of defense. Hurts and Sirianni moved to 10-2 in joint practices.
10-2.
We've got what's the over-under on joint practices, Harry? Do you have that in your app there?
I do not, but I'm wondering, does that get included in Nick Sirianni's Wikipedia page that he's 10-2?
Oh, I'm going to update that as a premium member. Jesus. Evan Macy said the Browns were better than the Eagles today. Head for the hills.
Oh, jeez.
Whoa.
Head for the hills.
Head for the hills. Like Bruce Dickinson.
Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden.
Yes.
On to the hills.
I knew exactly where you were going there.
One of my favorite songs.
The rumbling bass in that song is just galloping bass.
Steve Harris. That's exactly right, Harry. You got me pumped now. But yeah, I mean, they're disagreeing and geez.
Yeah,
I think we're going to have an intervention down there at NovaCare to get everybody on the same page. And
could you imagine Jeffrey Lurie sitting them down?
We got to bring in one of those high school scoreboards that you can bring in on the back of a truck, and we bring that to the joint practice, so we all have a scoreboard now.
Oh,
so you can't say you won, no, they won, that kind of thing.
I thought you were talking about those like flip it ones, those real high school hairy ones.
Oh yeah, I love those.
They got one of these are like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like at a girls' basketball game.
They used to have one of those in the corner of the court at Carmichael Auditorium when Michael Jordan played for North Carolina.
Oh my God.
In the old building, used to sit there and they'd flip the numbers over. I swear to God.
You scored points.
Yes, in the early 80s, before they moved into the Dean Smith Center.
The Dean Dome, Harry.
So they're available.
Those that's hilarious. I'm with you. The whole winning of a joint practice is just absolutely crazy to me.
Right.
It's controlled. What are we doing?
Yeah. Look, here's what I'll tell you. Look, it's certainly not nothing. Like, I think you can tell who your competitors are. Yeah. You can tell who your competitors are, how bad these guys are fighting, all that stuff.
And you get to hit another team. You get to hit another team. That's great.
Yeah.
Certainly. But Harry, I was around a bunch of Cleveland Browns fans over this weekend. My wife's family hails from Ohio originally, and they're all Cleveland all the time, all that stuff. Everything Cleveland. So I'm watching this Shedeur Sanders game on my brother-in-law's
Against the
patio.
Panthers, right? Wasn't it the Panthers?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
It was against Panthers. And because Adam Thielen was dressing for this. I'm like, what more can you discover from Adam Thielen? Anyway.
Wow.
So Shedeur Sanders comes out there and looks like ass. He looks terrible to start out. And I'm like, here we go. Here's your boy. This is what you got your hopes and dreams on. All this guy's got to do is beat Flacco. You know what I mean? He's got to beat Kenny Pickett, and he's starting this game for you. And then I got to give him credit. The man turned it on. He played a great rest of the game. The first couple series weren't so good. But then he really turned it on late. But unfortunately, Harry doesn't like you're going to be seeing your boy.
Yeah, it stinks. I saw this video. Ian Rappaport, Rap Sheet, put it out of Shedeur riding in a cart with Jalen Hurts on the practice field, I guess going back into the locker room after he'd hurt, I'm assuming, and love this video, he says. I'm like, what exactly is there to love about this video? I'm not going to get to see Shedeur go up against the Eagles defense, and maybe the Eagles put him to rest for the rest of the season. Okay, that's what I was looking forward to. Shedeur against the Eagles, and the Eagles just shutting him down. And now I won't get to see it.
Wait, is Jalen Hurts driving in the cart with Shedeur Sanders?
Yes. Yeah.
Please tell me who's behind the wheel.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure, but here's the video. I'm playing it.
Okay.
There
it goes.
And they're just zipping across.
Shedeur better be careful.
A gracious host gave Shedeur a ride back to the locker room. It was actually Mike Garafolo who took the video, and then Rap Sheet hijacked it.
Big Dom pulled him over and gave Shedeur another speeding ticket. That's the. If Shedeur was driving, but if Jalen was driving, then it's cerebral.
Right.
They're going the speed limit.
I was looking forward to that. There's not much to look forward to in these preseason games, and now I'm going to get
see Tanner McKee.
Yeah, I already saw it. How can he outdo that?
Well, now
all he can do is hurt his value.
Picks. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He'll sling it for 2 first-round picks. That's what he'll do.
Maybe.
That's what he'll do.
Maybe.
No, they're going to make the third quarterback worthy of a second-round pick now.
Oh.
They're going to
DTR?
Yeah, somehow.
Okay.
They're going to play Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. They're going to make him look great. And then there you go.
And they're going to trade him for a second-round pick for a pack.
Yeah.
2 words, gentlemen. Quarterback factory.
Yeah,
exactly right.
All right. We touched on the Brett Toth situation and Landon Dickerson situation a little bit earlier. There's some new news on that came out today. Let's talk about that real quick when we come back. This is Locked On Eagles Squad Show on the Locked On Eagles YouTube channel. So, Harry, you just reminded me of this one, and it has to do with Landon Dickerson. I saw one of the pictures come out from training camp today. Obviously, we're doing the show, so we're not there. The situation that's with Landon Dickerson, surgery complete. Already on the practice field, not practicing.
Right.
He looks like he's got a sleeve over that knee, but he's already out there.
Was he eating an Uncrustable?
Was he? I don't know how many more he can eat, but I hope so, because it was humid out there, and you got to make sure you're not doing that.
Oh, it's like a bowl of soup out there.
I know.
Again today.
It is.
Enough.
Yeah, it is not good. It is not
people
good.
In this summer style. It's ridiculous, this heat.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I know I started out sentimental with Jalen Hurts about his quarterback coach, and we established why this is important, and we've talked about other situations where it worked out really well in the Andy Reid case, and then where it did not work out well at all in the John DeFilippo leaves to be, an offensive coordinator, I believe it was, in Minnesota. And then Carson Wentz is left flailing in the wind there. But I'm going to go sentimental here again with Brett Toth here, because I don't know if you guys saw his media session after training camp yesterday. Now, it's got to be a really weird situation for any NFL player that is coming in where there's an established player who's a Pro Bowl level, one of the highest paid at the position. And Brett Toth, let's face it, he's been a journeyman offensive lineman in the NFL. This is his second stint now with the Eagles. He is stepping into a role now, again, that has been occupied by one of the best in the business in Landon Dickerson. He got asked the question about how he thinks he's progressing, Jason. And he was like, just trying to do everything I can, next man up mentality, that type of thing. Then he gets asked another question about what a great opportunity this is for him. And this is where it gets really interesting. usually you'll just hear the regular players speak of, I'm not Landon, I got to be me, that whole thing. He goes on a 50-second dissertation on how special a player Landon Dickerson is. He says, before I even get to that, first thing I want to say is everyone here, including me, is thinking about Landon Dickerson. Everybody here is thinking about when he can come back. And if you're stepping in, if you're getting an opportunity like I am, you're only thinking about the bar that was set from players before you. And he mentions Brandon Brooks, former right guard of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Really
and
good
he mentions, absolutely, now I believe a Wharton School of Business graduate. How about that? And he talks about Landon Dickerson, obviously. Now, that might be a warm and fuzzy thing, but I thought that was awesome to give that tribute to Landon Dickerson. And it's not just about the warm and fuzzies of it, gentlemen. It just continues to be, it's another addition to why the Eagles culture is so incredible.
Yeah.
If Brett Toth wasn't here last year, or he was here for a minute, but he bounced around a little bit. How much do you think these players miss it when they're not in Philadelphia and the culture that's established? And he essentially pays tribute to a guy that most likely still isn't going to miss the opener even for the regular season. That speaks volumes as far as I'm concerned about the culture in this locker room.
Well, Toth's a smart guy. He's like a nuclear engineering major that graduated from West Point. So he's a military guy. So
I knew that at West Point.
You know that he's about team and about the unit. So that doesn't surprise me one iota coming from him, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
but it is great to see.
Well, how we make sure that anybody that's going to grace that locker room knows how to sing Kumbaya.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt about that. And we saw how guys that don't sing Kumbaya and don't have that can really tear apart a team. We've seen it countless times in sports. It's an important element. So you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have culture, forget it.
Yeah. And Toth probably wouldn't even be getting these first team reps if Kenyon Green didn't get hurt.
Right,
most likely. Right?
True, yeah. He's in a good spot.
So he's hurt for the rest of he's out for the rest of the preseason, I believe. Green.
Yeah.
So
it is a good opportunity for Toth. It is.
Yeah.
By the way, Howie Roseman singing Kumbaya is funny for a number of reasons. That is, I'd love to see him at a campfire with the guitar. He could probably do it. Do it.
I'd like to see a Howie Roseman, Jeff Lurie duet of Kumbaya. With
Howie
Karen
would probably
Carpenter on the keys.
Wow.
Howie would probably trade
She'd
for
be on
someone
the
who
drums.
could play the
You
guitar.
kidding me? Karen Carpenter was on the drums.
Yeah, good point.
Oh,
she played the drums.
Good point.
Look at us learning. I'm learning things.
Good point.
Gentlemen, I hope I can join you on Saturday. I have a event to host for none other than Jason Kelsey. What has he been doing since he's retired? I haven't seen him anywhere. What's he even doing?
These Kelseys, I tell you, they can't find a camera. They can't jump in front of.
But I'm going to try to jump on it as a guest with you, gentlemen, after preseason game number 2 on Saturday. So I look forward to hopefully having the opportunity to do that. But it's a 1 o'clock kickoff Saturday. I know you guys will be bringing the heat either way. Louis DiBiase also hopes to join you guys as well on that show following the Eagles' preseason showdown with the Cleveland Browns. He's Harry Mays. He's Jason Martinez. I'm Marc Farzetta. This is Locked On Eagles Squad Show on the Locked On Eagles YouTube channel. Look forward to being with you guys again soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure you guys like and subscribe on the Locked On Eagles Squad Show and the Locked On Eagles YouTube channel, where Louis DiBiase has you covered each and every day for your Locked On Eagles content. Catch you guys later. Bye.